Joining me is General Jack Keane. General Keane was Vice Chief of Staff of the United States Army and a four-star general, and is now Chairman of the Institute for the Study of War. General Keane, great to see you. The minerals deal just signed. As far as I can tell, this is Ukraine handing the US special access to its minerals with nothing in return except the hope that Donald Trump will keep arming Ukraine. Will he?
Well, there's a couple things. One, it is an investment fund, so it's not restricted to the United States and Ukraine. Other countries can invest in it, so that's one thing. The other is, I think it's a positive thing for a couple of reasons. One, it's an economic relationship with the United States and Ukraine, which will likely be generational. And that absolutely is a good thing. It binds us together. The second thing is, although President Zelensky at the outset of this would have liked to have had some security things specified in it, it does have security implications. And by that, I mean, the more you're tied to a country economically and its interest, the implication is that you would be committed to the stabilization of that country as well. So I think overall, I think it is a good thing, and I'm convinced that's why President Zelensky and his team went along with the deal. So it took a long time to get here, but I'm glad we are.
Except, of course, American companies were in even the Donbass, the eastern provinces, and that didn't stop Russia from invading it. I'm not sure how tenuous. But the good thing is, I think, that Donald Trump can say, look, we've got a deal. He likes deals. Ukraine's now is not the issue. It's going to turn more, I think, to Vladimir Putin. He's already said a few days ago that he thought Vladimir Putin was playing him, wasn't serious. What do you think is now going to do to him? Well,
I think certainly President Trump from the outset thought this would go quickly. I think that's likely unrealistic once you understand the complications involved here with Russia and their narrative. I mean, the fact is Russia's aspirations are to topple the government in Ukraine, put in a stooge government, demilitarize the Ukrainian military, and really control that country. That is what he wants, where he wants to eventually get. He's never given up on that. And he sees even a peace agreement, if he gets to that point, would be just a step toward that. In other words, he would accept that pause, rearm China, Iran, North Korea, his own defense industry, recover the deficits he has militarily and personnel and equipment now, and then reattack when President Trump is gone. I mean, President Trump and his team certainly understand all of that, but the reality is Putin is also stalling to get as much concessions out of the administration that they can before they would even consider moving to a peace agreement. I think it's high time for the United States to take the gloves off here and really go after Mr. Putin, much as the administration did when they didn't like President Zelensky's attitude in the Oval Office. And I disagreed with confronting President Trump in that manner in front of an international media. Should have been done privately. But nonetheless, we pulled intelligence away from them, and we pulled our military aid to get his attention. It's time to get Mr. Putin's attention. But I'll tell you this, and in all frankness, Putin has never been intimidated by sanctions. He works around them, and he's not, it hasn't changed his behavior one iota that I can tell through the years. And I know people want to rely on that. The Senate is standing up to do that, but they got 60 senators to do it. I applaud it. I think we should do it. But we should also keep our eyes wide open that Putin really has never changed his behavior because of it. What he will pay attention to is the lethality and of military assistance, the volume and lethality of it, and that makes a difference on a battlefield. That gets his attention.
Well, I think that I agree with you. They've got to crack down on the way he's smuggling oil, essentially to countries like India, which then refine it into petrol for Australia. But that's, you know, we're complicit in this, I've got to say, to helping Russia finance its military. The Ukrainian assassination of a Russian general in Moscow a week ago, what does that tell you? It seems to have really scared Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, I think the Ukrainians do that more than any other reason, is to just demonstrate that they still have reach, and they're trying to certainly remind people in Russia, particularly people close to the regime in Moscow, that there really is a war going on. Putin, he doesn't want to disturb the middle class that lives there, and certainly not the elites. And believe me, it's why Putin, Andrew, wants to have a ceasefire during their big May Day celebration, you know, of their victory over Nazi Germany. He doesn't want to be humiliated and embarrassed by the Ukrainians during that festive activity. And he's going to have a lot of foreign leaders there participating in that and observing it. So, yeah, there's another false thing on Putin's part that lacks genuineness. He's not looking for a ceasefire. Putin has violated every ceasefire he has ever been in since the 25 years he's been president.
I don't know what it'll take for some in the Trump administration to realise Putin is not a man of his word. General Jack Keane, thank you so much for your time.